He never spoke, not once. But when he entered a room, everyone listened. This is the incredible, true life story of a man whose silence changed the lives of an entire community, and whose final, single message would leave the world in stunned silence itself. Before we dive into this remarkable tale, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It truly helps more than you know, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. It was the spring of 1997 when he first appeared in the sleepy, forgotten village of Olaria. He arrived seemingly from nowhere. He carried no luggage, offered no name, and held no papers. Most strikingly, he possessed no voice. Dressed in a simple, worn black coat that seemed to have seen 1,000 miles, he would simply nod when spoken to, his eyes holding a depth that was both unnerving and deeply calming. The villagers, initially suspicious, soon began to refer to him as the Quiet One. His days were spent in service. When a storm tore through the valley, he was the first on site, hammer in hand, helping rebuild homes without a word of complaint or a request for payment. He would spend hours sitting with the elderly, not speaking, but simply being present, offering a comforting stillness that was more valuable than any conversation. He didn't just hear the words people said. He listened to the silence between them, to the anxieties they couldn't voice, to the joys they held in their hearts. He became the village's silent confessor. People would seek him out, sit beside him on the old stone wall in the town square, and pour out their troubles. Farmers worried about a poor harvest. Young lovers spoke of their secret hopes. And those grieving found a shoulder to cry on without judgment. He never offered a single piece of advice, yet somehow his silent presence provided the clarity they needed. It was as if, by speaking their problems into the quiet space he created, they found the answers within themselves. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the village began to change. The constant bickering that once echoed through the market square softened. Arguments became discussions. People started listening to each other, truly listening for the first time in years. One grizzled old farmer, a man known for his short temper, remarked to his wife, "He doesn't speak, but he hears everything. When you're with him, you feel heard, and you start wanting to make others feel the same." Children, who are often the best judges of character, were drawn to him like moths to a flame. They would sit at his feet, playing games or simply tracing patterns in the dust, content in his peaceful aura. The adults found that asking him for advice and receiving only his patient silence in return was the most effective therapy they had ever experienced. The silence wasn't empty. It was full of understanding. It worked. It just worked. Then came the final day. It was a crisp autumn morning in 2008. The Quiet One was crossing the main square, just as he did every day when he suddenly staggered and collapsed. A wave of panic swept through the village. People rushed from every direction to help the man who had helped all of them. An ambulance was called, and he was gently lifted onto a stretcher, his eyes still calm, his lips still sealed. He was taken to the nearest hospital, the villagers trailing behind in a somber procession. For hours, he lay in the hospital bed, his breathing shallow but steady. He remained silent as he always had. As the sun began to set, he gestured weakly to a nurse who hurried to his side. With a trembling hand, he reached into the pocket of his old black coat and pulled out a small, folded piece of paper. The first time anyone had ever seen him attempt to communicate with writing. He pressed it into the nurse's hand. Just moments later, he passed away as quietly as he had lived. The nurse, her hands shaking, unfolded the note. On it were 6 simple words, the only words he had ever shared with them. It read, "You already know what to do. Just listen." The news of his death and his final message spread through the village like a quiet dawn. There was no loud wailing, only a profound, shared sense of grief and understanding. The quiet one was gone, but his legacy was cemented forever. The villagers did not erect a grand statue or a monument with his name. Instead, they placed a simple, beautifully crafted wooden bench right where he used to sit on the old stone wall. There is no plaque, there is no inscription. There is only the bench, an invitation to silence. And now, every Sunday, without fail, the people of the village gather there. They don't talk much. They just sit. They listen to the wind, to the birds, to the quiet hum of their community, and most importantly, to each other. The gift of listening. The quiet revolution he started continues, a testament to the fact that sometimes the most powerful messages are delivered without a single sound. If this story moved you, if it made you think, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. It helps us bring more stories like this to light. Because sometimes silence truly does say everything. Every Thursday, we share stories that make you think, stories about real people and their incredible impact on the world. Subscribe now so you don't miss out. And be sure to join us this Friday for a story that will send chills down your spine. The tale of the man who saw his own death. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to listen.